Hey guys, so this week I will be presenting over chapter 24, which is Epidemiology in Health Policy and Program Evaluation. So health policy encompasses the broad policy area of individual, group, aggregate, community, or population level health. Health policy is just one type of policy, but there are actually many classifications of policy, as you can see here on this slide. These include distributive, institutional, legal, organizational, public policy health, or public health, redistributive, regulatory, and social policy. This is the CDC's policy process model that's been nationally accepted and can be applied to population-based community problems. It provides the viewer with a systematic manner in which to develop policies that impact public health problems in the community. It consists of 5 main domains, which include problem identification, policy analysis, strategy and policy development, policy enactment, and policy implementation. Policy analysis can occur on 3 levels: macro, meso, and the micro level. The macro level policy analysis includes broad global parameters that influence policy, such as global economics and globalization. The meso level policy analysis focuses on the process of policy making and implementation. And at the micro level, policy analysis focuses on the engagement between constituents or consumers and the policy-making agent or the policy itself. In the policy analysis, the first step is to conduct a problem or issue analysis to discern whether it is a real problem or merely an issue of concern. To determine this, an issue analysis is conducted, which is comprised of 12 steps. If there is truly a problem, you go on to conduct the actual problem analysis. There are 4 steps to the problem analysis, which is sensing, problem search, problem identification, and problem specification, which we will go into further detail on in the next slide. Then the third step is to conduct a bill or law analysis, which is a critical appraisal of the components of the bill or law in relation to the areas of strengths and weaknesses, limitations, and opportunities for change or modification of the existing bill or law that impacts the identified problem. And then lastly, the policy analysis concludes with a summative policy analysis process, which determines the extent to which existing policy is viable and implementable as a solution to the problem. In this step, we are basically determining the extent to which the policy achieves the expected outcome. And so again, this slide takes us back to step 2 in the policy analysis, where if there is truly a problem, you go on to conduct the actual problem analysis, which consists of these 4 steps. Step 1 is sensing, which analyzes the problem situation as a felt and existing problem. Step 2 is a problem search that describes the multiple representations of the problem, stakeholders, and multiple paradigms associated with the problem. Step 3 is problem identification or definition, which characterizes the problem as a substantive problem with the use of epidemiologic data. And then step 4 is problem specification, which formalizes the problem through an actionable policy agenda, constituent needs, and assessing the political positions related to the problem. Epidemiologic evaluation of policy and other healthcare programs frequently evaluate efficacy, effectiveness, and efficiency. These terms are sometimes used interchangeably, but should not be used in that manner. Efficacy measures the effect of an agent or intervention under controlled conditions on an expected outcome. It can also be described simply as the ability to perform under controlled conditions in the expected manner. Effectiveness measures the extent to which something produces the desired result in a real-life situation. And effectiveness is a pragmatic measure of achieving a desired outcome. Then efficiency is a measure to the extent in which something can be achieved in the least amount of time or at the least expense with the least amount of effort. And then in the slide it asks, how does monitoring and evaluation differ? Monitoring and evaluation are both priority areas in population health. They are related but different concepts. Program monitoring is the systematic documentation of key aspects of performance that indicate that a program is functioning as intended or in accordance with planned activities. And it ensures that the program is achieving the desired outcomes prior to conducting a summative evaluation, whereas the evaluation itself is everything we just talked about in the last slide. Here's another good framework by the CDC that goes over the evaluation framework. In the middle of the circle are the 4 criteria that must be considered for evaluation standards using this framework: utility, feasibility, propriety, and accuracy. Utility ensures that evaluation information is practical and useful for stakeholders. Feasibility ensures that the evaluation is realistic, prudent, diplomatic, and frugal. Propriety ensures that the evaluation process is conducted in a legal and ethical manner that is best for the welfare of the population. Accuracy ensures that the evaluation methods yield information that is able to determine effectiveness. In addition to these, the evaluation framework also includes the following 6 processes: engaging stakeholders to ensure their perspectives are integrated into the evaluation process, describing the program in terms of the mission, goals, and expected objectives, focusing on evaluation design, gathering credible evidence, rendering judgment based on the evaluation evidence, and then generating lessons learned and ensuring use of findings. The logic model is a tool that can be used for planning, describing, managing, communicating, and evaluating a program or intervention. It is a visual representation of how a public health program should function to achieve the desired outcomes by describing the necessary program inputs, activities, outputs, and outcomes, which we will talk about here in the next slide. So, here is the figure I was talking about that presents a simple diagram of the relationships between different components of the logic model. Inputs are the resources needed to implement the program or intervention. Activities are those actions required to produce the desired outcome. Outputs are the directed, tangible results of said action, and outcomes are the expected results of the program or intervention. And then research, evidence-based practice, and quality improvement measures can use epidemiologic data as the measurement metric. These terms are also often wrongly used interchangeably when they are each their own distinct terms. So, research is the process of scientific discovery that results in the generation of generalizable information. It uses the scientific process to validate and refine existing knowledge or generate new knowledge that is generalizable or transferable. Evidence-based practice applies research and other sources of evidence into practice. Evidence-based practice is a systematic, problem-solving approach that integrates a systematic search for and critical appraisal of the most relevant evidence. Ultimately, evidence-based practice translates new knowledge such as research into practice and helps to improve quality based on the integration of the strongest evidence into practice. And then lastly, quality improvement measures changes in quality that result from practice changes that are institution-specific and non-generalizable. It focuses on using a data-driven systematic approach to improve specific system issues, processes, costs, productivity, and quality outcomes, and incorporates existing knowledge and information into the process of improving quality, with evidence-based practice forming the foundation for quality improvement. Lastly, we have the quality improvement model. This is the plan, do, study, and act, or PDSA model, that some of you may recognize from doing quality improvement projects in the past in school, or maybe even in the use of in a workplace setting. Quality improvement efforts are important as they are what continues to drive practice change to achieve better and better results over time. So that is why this is super important to know. And so lastly, I have the discussion questions here for this week. The first one says, use the logic model tool to evaluate a program or intervention of your choosing, and then please share. Give an example for each of the 3 levels of policy analysis: macro, meso, and micro. And then the last one that I thought of is, have you ever created a quality improvement project using the PDSA model? If so, please feel free to share it. If not, what is one that you could think of? Describe specific activities you would need to complete in each of the phases of the model. And then that is the end of my slideshow. So if you guys have any questions, please feel free to reach out. Otherwise, I hope everybody has a great week. And okay, bye-bye.